All right.
The story about the race.
Yeah, I prelude to that. You know. Yeah. I mean, we can go to that.
So for the video, for the sake of the video, um, who am I speaking with?
You're speaking with Master Shaheed, aka Bobby Scott,
And
the oldest brother of the late greatest Dee, well known as the family, but FloJo, as known by the media. The track star who succumbed and transitioned in 1998, but gone, but never ever will be forgotten.
right. And I asked you to tell me some stories from a trip that you and Auntie Didi took to Japan. Japan is a beautiful country, full of wonder and excellence. So, can you please tell me about the pictures that you took?
Yes. Before I tell you about the pictures, let me prelude and bounce off of what you were saying. Not only is it a beautiful country, but beautiful people.
Yes.
You know, they were very hospitable. And everywhere we went, everyone wanted to just touch her. My purpose was to be her brother as well as a bodyguard, and it was a twofold magnificent job in a loving manner. But I had to because the people just wanted to touch her. They loved her. Matter of fact, many of them recognized her and stated this to me, that they felt that she was the return of the Cleopatra.
Oh, wow.
Yes, that's what they stated to me on several occasions. She's the return of Cleopatra.
I love how there's an ancient or um, an ancient ancestor who our, who her presence or anyone's presence, anyone of greatness in our lifetime, matches um, an ancient ancestor. And
You know, and it goes to say, absolutely, she paralleled that. Even more so is that in my book that I'm writing about her, I state that if she had opened up a charm school for ladies, that she would have a waiting list of 20 years out. And also that the queens and princes of the world would envy her charm and grace.
wow. Yes, Auntie Didi was certainly graceful. My goodness.
Yes. Pure at heart.
Yeah.
In regards to her tenacity and her drive to want to be a very competitive in everything she did, of course, she was gifted. As you know, she used to ride a unicycle to school with her pet boa constrictor with her. On many occasions, she was very eclectic in doing hair braiding before it was a popular fad.
Yes.
Many celebrity stars' wives would want her to come braid their hair when she was 11 or 12 years old without any training. And she would go out sometime at 5, 4 in the afternoon and stay to about 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, one time it was like 11 o'clock at night, and Mother Florence wasn't playing that. Grandma, she did not like her daughter being out that time of night. It was way past her curfew, so many times she had to cut it short and go back and pick it up the next day. But she was gifted and everybody loved her. And that was a little money-making job on the side that she made with her natural skill. I was teaching her martial arts, and I saw the drive, the competitiveness in her that was just rare. And there was times that I would pull up to the house on 85th Street, and we would sit out in the car facing the direction of the planes coming in, and we would talk about life and challenges, and just her and I. She would run out to the car just to meet me. I couldn't go in the house before her and I would just sit and talk for about an hour or so, look at the planes coming in, wondering where they come from and how would it be to go to different parts of the world. Well, she had dreams, big dreams.
Wow.
You know, and her desire to be competitive. I remember when I moved in on 85th Street when I came from Pittsburgh and moved in with the family there. The boys stayed in the back house, and Dee and the girls and little Pancho was in the front. And if we got a phone call or something, she would run. I mean, take 1 or 2 steps off the back porch and leap to the front back steps and tell us would tell us we had a phone call. She would always be the one, was like a pigeon. She was always flying in the air and running to give us our message and would beat us back to the house. And Mother Florence said, "Girl, stop running. You're going to hurt yourself." But it was in her, you know. So, but even at that time, you know, when it would stop raining, which it didn't rain that much there, of course, in the summer, but when it would stop raining, the steam would come off the streets, and we would take our shoes off. Even Weldon, who was the oldest of the brothers at that, well, I'm the oldest, of course, but Weldon was next in line. Then there was Lim, Gay, I think Gay participated. Sissy, of course, who was very close to Dee, would participate in the races that we would run from one end of 85th Street to the other end, which was a block long, and we would race. And man, I felt I would get beat a few times by Weldon because he, you know, was kind of swift himself. But no one ever would beat me, and I was surprised I would beat Weldon all the time. So nobody could beat me, and Dee, oh my, she had like a little gnat. She would come up, I'm gonna get you, boy. You know, I did this little girl, and I told her then, from a male chauvinistic perspective, I'm thinking at that time, and I told her, and I'm thinking down the road, you know, even then, I said, "Girl, you never outbeat me as long as you live." I sure did. Well, I'm sure you have a picture there. We were in the Tokyo Dome, and I have video footage of it, where we were taking our shoes off, reminiscing about how we used to race during that time. And she's saying, "Yeah, remember, Shaheed, we would race and take our shoes off at 85th Street." Well, in the background, her husband said, "Yeah, Dee and Shaheed going to do it again." When she was 11 years old, they used to race in the streets of Watts. So he was videotaping and recording. Now, mind you, we were warming up. She tired me out just warming up and down inside the Tokyo Dome.
Wow.
Running, you know, 200 yards back and forth and stretching, which was good. She didn't want to hurt herself, and that's very important, to stretch and to get your wind and your muscles in tune. She was very, very tuned into her body. So I participated, of course. Now, when it's time to run, to do that race, her husband called out the call. "On your mark, get set." Now, mind you, the Japanese cameramen were all there. The news media were there. And in the back of my mind, I'm saying, "Oh, man, they're going to show this on the news tonight, and I'm going to beat her," because I felt I was in top shape, man. I really did. Yeah. I'm thinking in the back of my mind, I'm going to beat this girl. You know, hey, I'm going to set a record. I'm going to show her. Well, as history tells itself, never underestimate the power of a woman. Man, we came out the block. I think I had to jump on her. I did, for about 2 feet maybe. Next thing I know, as you see in the picture, her hair was blowing in the wind. I felt a breeze right by, and she was winding down there. But, yeah, she won that, of course, by all means, by quite a distance. And then even that day in the Tokyo Dome, matter of fact, prior to the race, we was going out to the starting block, and we got into reminiscing about martial arts, and we sparred. And I have that on video footage, you know, where she was doing some of her kung fu techniques, and she was very good at that.
Yes.
Oh, man. So she was very talented. And another thing, too, speaking of her competitive spirit, we were staying in Chiba City, outside of Chiba City, rather, at the resort that the American track and Olympic team stayed prior to going to Seoul, Korea. So Mr. Kawato, who was the owner of the resort, he was a billionaire. He adopted Dee as his daughter, as his surrogate daughter. He loved her. So he housed us and entertained us for a week at his resort there. And there I taught Dee golf. Because they had a golf tournament in her honor. So I was giving her golf tips, which I do a little golfing. She learned that well. We played tennis on a mesh tennis court, plastic court. I never played on one like that before. Very good and absorbent, and shock absorbent wise. And she learned that very well. And we went inside of this large gymnasium that he had, and he had a not racquetball, but what is that? Not a volleyball. What is the game with the net? A badminton. Badminton. Now check this out.
Okay.
Badminton is a real easy type game, right? We have a little birdie, little plastic birdie, and you have a net, and you can a racket rather. You can hit it hard as you can to get it over, and if it hits the ground, you lose a point. Now, I'm not ashamed to say this. I played badminton for years. Do you know she beat me every time? I'm serious. She was quick. The ball couldn't hit the floor.
Wow.
I mean, it stunned. I was shocked. She beat me every time. I'm just telling the truth. I have it on video.
Right.
She beat me in badminton. Now, that just goes to show you her drive was in everything she wanted to do in life. She had a unique spirit of competing,
yes,
excelling, and putting her unique style in whatever she did. She was very unique. And of course, you may have heard how she came out with that one-leg outfit. Do you know? Have you told that yet?
I don't. No, I don't have any details on it. I just know that it was Auntie Dee Dee's creation.
Well, let me tell you exactly how that came about.
Okay.
Well, your grandmother, Mother Florence, was the seamstress and designed and made many of her outfits. Okay? Mm-hmm. So one night, Mother Florence told Dee, said, look, it's getting late. Why don't you go ahead and try this on? It's only one leg, and tomorrow I will put the other leg on. Dee tried it on, and that was the story. She said, I like it like this.
Yes.
And that's how she came up with that one-leg outfit. And she was always eclectic in her style. When she was a young girl, I had pictures of her jumping both knees up in the air, and she would slit her short jeans all the way up to the side. So she was eclectic. She had her own style, and which is unique, about her, and it's an honest style, So, but that's how that came about, the one-leg outfit, which in my book, I'm giving Serena Williams her props for honoring her at the Australian Open this year by wearing that one-leg outfit in every day that she competed, and saying that Dee was her hero.
Yes.
And so in the book, I'm saying back to Serena that Serena was my hero, and still my hero in tennis. So, they both had that, and I equated that they both had that unique competitive spirit just across the track from each other. One from Compton and one from Watts.
That's right. Oh, man. All right, Unc. I appreciate your time, and thank you. I'm sure that, the listeners and viewers are going to enjoy these firsthand accounts, from Auntie Dee Dee, from our family. And, that's...
Hey, well, pleasure's all mine, and I hope that everyone would look forward to my book be coming out within the next month. It'll be on Amazon, eBay, and throughout many other media forms.
What is the title?
The title is called Memoirs of a Favorite Shooting Star. Dee Dee - FloJo.
All right.